Friends, have you ever faced a moment when everything you know is thrown into chaos? When the world seems to spin faster, the storms come harder, and hope feels like a distant light? Today's story is about Arjun, a young fisherman whose courage in the face of despair teaches us all a timeless lesson about resilience and hope. In a quiet coastal village, where mornings smell of salt and fresh fish, lived Arjun, a man of the sea. Every day before dawn, he prepared his small wooden boat, setting out onto the vast ocean, dreaming of providing for his family and community. His days were long, his work humble, but his heart was full of steady faith. The sea was a fickle friend. It could give generously one day and take away the next. Storms were growing fiercer and more unpredictable. One particular morning, as Arjun cast his net far from shore, dark clouds gathered swiftly, and the winds began to howl. Sudden waves crashed onto his tiny boat, threatening to swallow it whole. Fear tightened its grip, but Arjun fought the relentless ocean with every ounce of strength. The storm raged all night long, and when the sea finally calmed, Arjun found himself miles from land, his once sturdy boat battered and supply stores nearly empty. The horizon was endless and bleak. The cold pierced through his tattered clothes. Hunger gnawed at his belly and loneliness wrapped him in silence. Yet in this darkest hour came the strongest light, a voice inside reminding him of his father's words. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it. Determined, Arjun began to repair what he could of his vessel, rationed his food carefully, and kept his eyes locked on the distant horizon, scanning for any sign of help or land. Each dawn, as the sun touched the waves in fleeting golds and pinks, hope fluttered anew in his chest. Days passed like this. Waves rested, then rolled. Nights were long, cold and filled with stars overhead. His muscles ached, his body weakened, but his spirit did not falter. He weathered hunger and exhaustion, loneliness and doubt, all while holding on to a stubborn thread of hope that would not break. Sometimes he whispered to himself, "I am not lost. I am only somewhere new, and my journey is not over." That inner strength was the anchor that held him steady. Think about your own life. How many times have storms threatened to overwhelm? How many battles have you faced when the outcome felt uncertain? Arjun's journey reminds us that courage is cultivated in these moments, forged not in calm breezes, but in roaring storms. Then, one early morning, just as the sky blushed with the first hints of dawn, a small sail appeared on the horizon. Arjun's heart leapt as rescue drew near. The waves seemed gentler, the air tasted sweeter. Though he had failed to catch a fish, he had conquered far greater challenges, the tempest of fear and uncertainty. Upon his return, the village did not rejoice merely for his survival, but for the courage he had shown. Arjun's story became one told again and again, of hope held tightly in the face of despair, endurance even when the end seemed impossible. This tale teaches us that life's storms test us, but the most powerful victories are those of the spirit, the courage to stand firm, to hope, and to keep moving forward no matter how dark the night. Remember, bravery is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else is more important. If you've found strength in Arjun's story, please like this video, subscribe for more inspiring tales, and share your own moments of courage in the comments below. Because together, we learn that no one is truly lost, and every storm eventually gives way to dawn.